How does one get into being a life coach in the first place? Is there like a life coach school, or does someone have to recruit you? Because I've never heard about a life coach university or anything like that. So I've always been curious, how does someone get into that field of work?
Well, that's very brave of asking this because sometimes people don't ask and they just assume. So, life coaching is basically it's a not a new industry, but it's kind of blooming now after, especially after COVID, because many people were working from home and they found this industry to be more flexible. So we don't have, of course, the college degree for life coaching, but we have governing body which is called International Coaching Federation (ICF). So if you are a life coach and you have gone through certain trainings of around 200 hours and many other things, so you can go to ICF and get accreditation from there. It's paid and there is a huge big test over there.
Oh, I
And
see.
so once you do that, you'll get the professional coach certification. So that's one I have.
How long does that usually take?
So the course, the accreditation itself, it takes 1 week. You just go and give the test and pass it. But for that, you need to have at least 6 months of training as a coach. For the trainings, there are different institutes in the world, different companies who are giving trainings, different institutes who are giving training. And interestingly, in US now, coaching is also taught as a degree course in MIT and some other and Stanford. So there are many big universities which are now giving coaching degrees like MA in coaching, BS in coaching, and PhD in coaching.
Mm, yeah, well, honestly, I have always admired life coaches because you guys are geared to make other people's lives better. So
Mhm.
I consider you guys, like little angels. You guys are passionate about what you do, and you are taking your time to do your best to make other people's lives better. So very obviously and very easily, I can say you guys are awesome people. And one question I had about life coaching was that when you usually give various types of people advices, it should be, to me, in my opinion, easy for you to adopt the advice you're giving. Because obviously, if you're giving advice, you should be already doing it. It will be strange to give advice for something that you're not practicing. So,
Mhm.
in a sense, coaching others to me would mean subliminally coaching yourself. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's a wonderful perspective, and I totally agree with that. Um, I just want to mention in the beginning before answering that question is coaches in according to International Coaching Federation, coaches are not allowed to give advice.
All right, I
Advice
see.
is a no word in coaching industry. You cannot give advice. If you want to give advice, become a mentor, become a trainer, become something else, a consultant. But if you want to be a coach, you have to be very specific that you are going to only ask multiple questions, powerful questions, inspire the client to talk more about their situation, and eventually they will get to that point of realization where they find, oh, I know how to do it. So let's say if you are the coach and I'm the client, you are asking me question, you are not asking, giving me any advice, and I'm pressuring myself to talk more, think more, talk more, think more, and eventually I'll find out, okay, it's not like this. Actually, it's like something else. And then I will talk something else and we get to the point. Now, how does it work? To a layman, it sounds like strange. If you ask only question, why should I pay you? Or if you ask only questions, how can I get better? So the point is, what you asked first, self coaching is a strong term in coaching industry. So we do self coaching almost all the time. So we are doing. I need to make a coffee, and I'll do self coaching. Is it good for me? Is it going to serve me? Is this kind of coffee is okay to drink? Is it okay for others to drink? So we keep asking questions to ourselves as well. That's why when we get into the coaching session, it's very fluent and very kind of natural for us to ask. questions. But what question do we ask? That's the intelligence of the coach. When to ask what kind of questions. Now, the second thing is advice. We sometimes do give advice, but before that, we tell them, okay, here's the thing. This is not coaching. This is going to be the advice. So that's why the coaches are always either consultants, trainers, psychologists sometimes, but consultants, trainer, and then coaches. So when they feel like the client is stuck, they don't know how to move forward, then they put the hat of a consultant or the trainer or the mentor, and they let them know, okay, how about thinking this way for the
Okay.
advice? You have to be the expert of the industry.
How close to psychologists are life coaches?
So in order to be a coach, you don't have to be a psychologist.
I
It's
see.
nothing relevant to that.
I see.
In fact, psychology and therapy, it's kind of problem focused. What's the problem? Let's solve it. What's the problem? Let's solve it. But coaches are future focused, solution focused. Anything you want to achieve in the future, let's do it together. That's what coaches do. Anything you want to improve on, anything you want to achieve, the goals, the like relationship things, you want to become a better husband or a better wife, you want to become a better parent, or you want to grow in career, but you don't know how to move forward. That's where coaches come in. But in order to be a therapist or to go to a therapist or psychologist, you need to have some issues related to your personality or mindset. You got me?
Yeah,
So
yes. So, what is the most common thing that someone would need a life coach for? Is there like a common pattern? Yeah, let's say you have 100 customers. Out of
mhm.
those 100 customers, is there a certain trend? People usually ask for life coaching for a specific topic, or is it usually just random? Is it just different all of the time?
That's a very good question. So, just like any other industry, there are niches, specific niches. Like in doctor, somebody heart specialist, somebody is neurologist, or something else. So in coaching, there are niche. So, for example, for me, I'm a mindset coach. So what I do is help you understand your mindset. Why do I do this? Because I studied psychology, I studied hypnotherapy, everything related to brain and
No.
mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I feel myself more empowered and resourceful in helping people understand their mindset and change their mindset. That's my niche.
Okay.
So if somebody comes to me saying that, okay, let's say I want to improve in my parenting habits,
Mm-hmm.
that's not my thing because I don't have experience, I don't have knowledge about it. So what I do is I would politely say no or refer it to somebody else who is a parenting coach. So in
Mm-hmm.
order to be a specific coach, you have to have experience related to that field. There are many people these days, the trend is professionals from different industries are now learning coaching from digital industry, from neuro industry, from chemical industry, from business. Everybody is now transferring to learning coaching.
Mm-hmm.
They will be the business coach. They will be the digital business coach or digital related coach because they know the industry. So the client who is coming with a goal, they know how to reach that goal because they have walked that path.
I
So
see.
that's how it works.
And what has been the most challenging thing for you as a life coach?
Oh, the very first that comes into mind is informing people what coaching is, especially when it comes to it's not a therapy, it's not for sick people, it's not for somebody who has problems. You don't have to have problems to get life coaching. Just have to have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a desire to move forward, but you are not aware of how to get that goal. You
I
didn't
see.
walk that path, so you can come to the coaching. But it takes around, sometimes it takes 2 sessions just to let the client know, no, we are not going to give you the therapy or some kind of tools. Yeah, we do give them tools, but it's for self development, not for changing their personality or something.
What is like a strategy or a technique that you often use to give people? I know you didn't say advice, but to help
Okay.
people do to achieve their goals.
So there are plenty of school of thoughts in coaching as well.
Right. Okay.
So they do different tools. They apply different tools along the way, not in the very beginning, but along the way to help the client. For example, there are tools like Wheel of Life. So we administer that tool in the very first session with the client to understand where their life is lacking and where their life is fulfilled. So once they see the clear picture of their life, and then they decide what is it they want to talk about. And then we have the values assessment tools. Then we have the personality tools, introverts, extroverts, or ambivalent. So who are you? So this kind of tools, we administer all these tools along the way when we
Mm-hmm.
think the client needs it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are also tools like communication tools, where they understand what is their communication style, how they can transform into a better one. Then there are some cognitive behavior tools, which help them understand that they are not lacking. It's not a shame. It's not a kind of weakness. For example, introverts, they feel that they are weak, they are shy. So
Mm-hmm.
first we have to change their mindset with cognitive therapies, not cognitive tools, that being an introvert is not a weakness. It's just a personality type.
Right. I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, these kind of tools are helpful. It depends on each client.
And you are based in Pakistan, am I correct?
I am from Pakistan, but right now I'm in Japan.
All right. Yes. 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 I just remembered you telling me that. Is there a particular reason why you didn't like do the life coaching in Pakistan rather than here?
Okay, so yeah, it's funny. I moved to Japan around 6 years ago, and the purpose of moving to Japan, because in Pakistan I was a trainer. After studying psychology, I became a trainer. I used to go to different industries and train them, like kind of consultant trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that job or that profession, I was called in Japan by one of my friends. She visited in Japan and Pakistan, and she was doing PhD. And she said, "Okay, let's come to Japan. I can introduce you to some of the companies." And I went there, gave training, but later COVID came in, and then there are many other opportunities.
I heard there's a little bit of a taboo with in Japan and mental health. So
Um,
for people who are seeking those things, therapy or psychotherapy, whatever, might be seen in a bad way. So when you told me you do that in Japan, I thought it might be a little strange because it's not really popular here.
So the point is, you're right. Coaching is not that much welcomed in Japan, and the only people who are doing very good coaching in Japan are those who are Japanese. They can speak Japanese and they can make them comfortable. Another thing I see in Japan, coaching has strong future because talking about mental health, they feel tabooed, they feel bad, they feel weak. But we
Mm-hmm.
are not talking about their problems. We are talking about how they can become better, how they can improve the things. We will never ask what happened in the past. No way. Coaches never ask questions about the past. So I'm here. I have lack of confidence. I cannot talk to people. I feel sad when people don't talk to me, let's say. So I will never ask what happened while you started doing this. This is what therapists do. We start talking. There are many people who were like this, but they improved. This is how they improved. You can do certain small steps, baby steps, moving forward. We can make the milestones for a week or a month, and let's see if that works for you. Initiate small talks and start talking with with the coach himself. Start the conversation, giving them assignment, small exercises to help them. Oh, I can do it. Yes, tomorrow you can do it with your colleagues. So that's how we help them improve. So I believe if Japanese gonna understand what coaching is, it's not psychotherapy, it's not
Yeah, right.
mental illness, they're going to love it. And but for that, we need coaches like me need patience, I guess.
So by the way, who is the the Michael Jordan of life coaching? Yeah, everybody there's always like a boss, right? Like somebody like very good at it. Who
So
is like the guy or the girl? I don't know. Who's the person?
have you heard of Tony Robbins?
Oh, he's like the
He's the
one of the
Michael
top
Jordan
guys.
of coaching. So
I see.
he was a trainer, and then he showed up as a success coach. And after that, everybody started moving into coaching. We have Simon Sinek, we have Rich Litwin, we have Bernie Brown. There's so
Okay.
many good coaches in the industry.
Yeah, because I'm curious about who they are because I want to search them. I have never like done life coaching
Mhm,
before. I've heard about you guys, but I've
mhm,
never done it before. But judging from what you're saying, it's more like inspiration and motivating, right?
mhm.
Talking about the future, right? So talking about the present and the future, but never the past, right?
Correct.
So out of the three, present and future only. And how long does a session
Mhm,
typically last? And
mhm,
what is the overall duration of it?
mhm.
Or does it have like a set time or it depends on the person? I don't know.
So, about one session, it's usually around 60 minutes. We can prolong it, but we must ask the client if they want to prolong it.
Oh,
If they don't, we need to stop it. So for a 1 hour session, and minimum of session that we always recommend is 3 to 5, because in one session you will not get anything. But 3 to 5 sessions are just to understand yourself. What are your desires? What are you lacking at? How you can be the one you want to be. So ideally, we have a 3 months package or 6 months package.
okay.
Sessions should be around 15 days apart, not very frequent. So it should be on first and then on 15th and then on 30th of the month. So in order to keep the track, but also not being overwhelmed by.
For the
And then
average,
we also have like communication on WhatsApp or email if they have any kind of things. And
no.
they do have homeworks too.
Oh, so I could do live coaching through text.
Through text, we just keep the accountability, not coaching. Coaching
Oh,
used
okay.
to be one-to-one conversation.
So what do you enjoy about live coaching?
Oh, I love when people out of nowhere they're just talking, they're pressured with the life circumstances, and eventually they find out, okay, what is their strength they are not honoring. See,
Oh,
sometimes we find
right.
out they are not honoring. So people's smile and the empowerment they gain, that's the best thing, and that's what inspired me to come into coaching industry and
Hmm.
leaving that therapy industry.
So judging from your experience doing this, or even before, what is like something that you've noticed in people that they've really been struggling with?
So first of all, self-love. Oh my god, people
Self-love. I
lack
see. They
self-love.
don't have self-love.
They do. They want every single person to love them, but they don't love themselves. That's the realization we need to create in people. And secondly, people just don't value their strengths. They just keep craving for something they don't have, but they don't value what they don't have.
Hmm.
And by talking more, by sharing more, they tend to understand what's their strength. That's why we do via value assessment, and there are many other value assessment tests.
Hmm.
Let them understand, see, this is your strength area. If you keep craving for, I need to mm, fly a plane, it's kind of craving. It will never end. But if you understand that you drive a car very beautifully and very technically, then you will understand you have the skill. So people lack the understanding of their strengths and values, and that's why they feel more frustrated when they see others having something else.
Yeah, I heard a saying that a comparison is the thief of joy. And another saying that goes, you can't serve tea with an empty pot. So you must love yourself in order to
Yeah,
serve tea, so to speak.
yeah, true. I recently had a client. Of course, we don't share the details of the clients, but just a story of that. He was struggling with the relationship with his wife, and for first 3 or 4 sessions, he kept saying that she says like this and she's right. She says this and she's right. And it took me three hours, like 3 sessions, to bring him out of what she says and what he says.
Right.
Once
Hmm.
he realized that what he knows and what he does for her, he realized that he's doing already so much. And he don't have to be ashamed of not doing certain things for her. And that's when they started realizing, okay, now that I'm already doing it, how can I
Hmm.
make it better? But
Right.
before he was just, I'm useless, I'm ridiculous, and blah blah blah. So people need to understand what they already have in their cup, and then how to fill it up. They just keep thinking we don't have this thing in our car.
Right. But for some instances with relationships, specifically, even though you know what you have or you love yourself, the partner might not make you feel loved also. So
Yeah.
sometimes through coaching, even though you can make the person feel good about themselves, if they're with somebody who's toxic, it might be challenging to
Hmm.
coach that person.
So it depends. As I said, my expertise is not about specific relationship issues, but if it's a general one, then I have clients, and you're right. Sometimes it's challenging when they say, "Okay, we want to do this, we are doing this, but we are not getting in return anything." So
Right?
what's important is focus on what you are doing and what you can do,
Mm.
and then putting the client into the shoes of the partner. So let's say if your partner is doing all of it for you and you are not valuing it, why you are not doing it, and they will think like, maybe I don't like them, maybe I don't like them doing this way,
Hmm.
maybe whatsoever. So once they put themselves in the shoes of other person, then they find some more realizations. So yeah, it's challenging. And then we also have some cognitive behavior things to help them, how they can help their client to understand them, how they can become more themselves but still lovable to their clients, their partners. So it depends on the client's situation. But yes, relationship uh, things are, I guess, most difficult one to handle. If it's
Ah,
professional
mm,
one, it's easy because you are not emotionally connected to that person. You are
okay.
just colleague. And but if it's a relationship one, family one, it
Hmm.
takes a little bit longer time.
And I saw a post you had on Facebook that says that you don't like the idea when people say to step out of your comfort zone,
Right.
right? And I agree with not what you say, but the saying, right?
Mhm.
So can you like elaborate on why you disagree with something like
Sure.
that?
You see somebody who's struggling with their strengths or the pressures of the world, and who is very shy or introvert. They don't want to share anything. They don't want to do something which will embarrass them. And you tell them step out of their comfort zone, and they'll say something. But they will never do this because this is something they cannot imagine.
I see.
So if you
Mm-hmm.
cannot imagine something, how can you tend to do it? You have to do something which it works. But for others, let's say we give them examples. Okay, somebody did this. They stepped out of their comfort zone. Somebody, me, I did. But if I tell them I stepped out of my, oh, you had different circumstances. You were different. You had
Mm-hmm.
different people around you. You have not my problems. So instead of pushing them or challenging them, for me, it's kind of challenging them that step out of your comfort zone. I can't. Thank you very much. But if you say, don't need to come out of your comfort zone, I know it's the most precious being there. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's lovable to being in your comfort zone. You don't want to do anything out of that comfort zone. How about stretching it a little bit? You can do 10 push ups. How about doing 11 today?
Okay.
Pushing the limits a little bit, but
Okay.
still being there where you feel safe. You don't have to step out of it. You just push it a little bit. Make your comfort zone the bigger zone. Make it a growth zone.
How have you personally stepped out of your comfort zone most recently?
So I always thought that I can never come out of my comfort zone. It was funny. I was an introvert, hardcore
Oh,
introvert,
I see.
used to hide away from the guests even who come to my house, or and everybody thought like she's nowhere, like she's somebody who doesn't exist because she don't want to talk.
Mm.
I know when I started job, it was like, I need to talk to people. No, 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 I can't do that. So it was little by little. One day we talked to 10 girls and they were younger. So I thought I have better knowledge compared to them. And gradually we move forward. And I'm blessed that I had that job place that they helped me a lot to grow myself. But it's kind of one moment, specific moment I remember. I was in a part result day, the parents' day of the children, and it was kind of they were announcing results, and I was with my boss.
Mm-hmm.
Boss is male, and the school is for girls.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did is instead of inviting my boss to speak on the like stage, They thought I'm a lady, so I should be coming and talking to them, to the girls. And they eventually called my name. I was not at all prepared for that. And I just wanted to run out of that auditorium at once. So shivering, my legs trembling, I don't know what to say, but I went upstairs and I started talking. So I still don't know what I did, what I talked with them, but the moment I finished and the clapping they did, it was tremendous. I thought, wow, I can speak to people.
Mm,
Moment of realization, the bulb in my brain. Oh wow, I can speak.
mm,
So that inspired me to talk more and more and more.
mm,
Again, it didn't happen in that just one experience. That was just a realization. It took me a lot of effort to keep doing
mhm,
what scares me, keep doing. And today, like the other day, my coach partner from Singapore, from Hong Kong, so we are doing mentoring together, and she said,
mm,
"Tomorrow I'm not here, so you are going to lead the class." Okay, no problem. So it's now we are leading international class, but I'm
mhm.
not scared. But that was a time I was scared of talking to young girls. So it takes time. So only thing which helped me was my desire to do it. I was not willing, no way.
I've noticed that when you speak, you don't have an accent compared to the other non-English speaking people I know. So does like Pakistan have a good proficiency in English?
I never observed that, but I think so because yeah,
Like
I
if I go to Pakistan,
mhm,
would there be people able to speak? Like in Japan, it's like very low, right? In
no.
comparison to
Well, I
Korea
guess
or Europe. How is
the
Pakistan on the English?
see, if they're studying, of course they can.
Okay,
But if
okay,
they never
okay.
went to school, no, they won't. But whoever went to college or school, definitely
Oh
they can.
yeah, is Pakistan a nice place?
Sorry?
Is it a nice country?
Oh, wonderful country. Definitely a wonderful
Oh
country.
yeah, okay. I never been there, and I never thought about going there.
Oh,
People
I
usually
always.
think about India or France.
Mhm.
They never really say Pakistan.
Uh-huh.
So
No, it's beautiful.
why would I want to go to Pakistan? What's good about Pakistan?
So if you're a nature lover, oh,
Nature. There's good nature in Pakistan.
oh, North is amazing.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Himalaya, we have there, and we have Karakoram mountains, Himalayan mountains, and we have the second highest peak in the world, that is K2 in Pakistan. So
Okay.
mountains are extremely beautiful. The valleys are beautiful, and if you want to see the desert, there are
Desert.
deserts in
Oh,
Pakistan.
I see.
We have variation of the land, and then we have beaches as well. But
Okay.
most importantly, if you want to visit Pakistan, or why would you visit Pakistan? To see the culture and to see the hospitality of people, I guess. I know, I know internationally there are so many things roaming around. And yes, previously it was kind of safety issues there, but right now it's stable there.
Now, what's the most famous food in Pakistan?
Oh, biryani.
Oh, biryani. I always thought that was something from India. I thought it was an
Oh,
Indian
okay.
food
Biryani is
from
from India.
Pakistan.
Mhm.
You see? Okay, people should know this, right? Like, I'm sure you probably meet like people who think biryani is from India, right?
Correct.
But no
Details.
one, I don't think anyone knows it's from Pakistan.
They do.
Yeah.
And you know the naan at Indian
Naan
restaurants.
is from Pakistan too?
Naan is from Pakistan. Basically, naan is from the
What?
what is that western part of Pakistan, which is Peshawar. So
Okay.
naan was originated there, and
Mm-hmm.
then it was taken by many areas. If you
Hmm.
ask a very traditional Japanese or traditional Indian, they would say we never cook naans in our house.
Oh, really?
They are not used to of naan because
Okay.
it's not their food. They cook chapati or something else like bread.
Chapati. Yeah. Or paratha?
No,
Paratha. Paratha.
paratha, chapati. That's their food, and that's our food.
Uh,
Like I'm from the
Okay.
central Pakistan. My
Okay.
food is also paratha, chapati, but we love naan because it's found everywhere. But internationally, because Pakistanis didn't get into the restaurant industry, but Indian dominated it, Nepalis dominated it, and they introduced the food which is easy to eat, or I guess which is different. And so
Mm,
that's how naan became famous. But basically, it's from Pakistan, Peshawar,
what's the capital of Pakistan?
Islamabad.
Oh, okay. How long does it take from Pakistan to Japan?
Okay, there's no
No direct flight. I see.
so either Thailand or Turkey or whatever destination. It depends on the flight. When I took, it was 14 hours,
Okay,
including
okay.
like transit
And how are the people there?
in Pakistan.
Yeah, like what, like Japanese are more like shy, like
Oh no,
your own
they hug
circle.
you,
Yeah,
they
for real.
you, and
Very
it's
like very opposite from Japanese people then.
very very opposite. I
Wow.
hugs, you know,
You
just keep hugging on every petty things. It's so
really? So you like more
great.
like physical people.
Huh?
Physical, like body
Ah,
touch. I see.
physical attraction, not physical experiences a lot. We
Really? Okay.
keep
Oh,
holding our hands until we are talking. We like give taps on the shoulder.
not rude. Like I just
No,
no.
we give taps on the shoulder when
Uh,
we are talking like friends or something. It's
okay.
more physical interaction than just words.
Wow. So it must have been like a culture clash for you. Like it's so
I know
different,
when
right?
you hear people don't shake hands. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. The bow,
wow.
Wi-Fi. They do it from a distance.
Yeah.
So has it been like a challenge for you adapting to this culture because you come from somewhere totally like from me in my country too,
Mhm,
um, in Trinidad, we're same just like Pakistan, but we have like a lot of like wide range of people.
mhm,
It's primarily Indians and Africans.
right, right.
Yeah, I don't know if there's Pakistan people there, but we most
Mhm,
of the people come from India because of the slaves about like
mhm,
200
mhm,
years ago.
mhm.
Yeah, so I know, I understand because for me too, like when I came, it's like so many rules you have to follow. You can't do this, you have to do this, right? So, how have you like adjusted, or what has been the most difficult thing for you to adjust to?
The cultural shock is very real. We need to talk about it on every platform. People feel culture shocks, but they don't talk about it as if they are the only one to feel that.
Mm.
But yes, I did go through that experience too. I'm coming to from a country which is very open and loud, and to a country they don't talk if they don't need to, and it's kind of difficult. So the biggest challenge, I would say, the language. I didn't know the language, and I thought and I assumed that since I know international language, I'll survive. But it was a big myth. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot survive if you know English or anything else. You need to know Japanese. So I didn't know a basic word of Japanese because I was taken here by my friend, a Japanese girl. So all the things, and then there's food issues. We have different food cuisine. Japanese cuisine is different. We
Mm-hmm.
can eat it once or twice, but not every day. Happening in terms of behaviors, I guess most about Japanese people don't share what they are feeling.
Oh yes, yes, that's true.
Or
Yeah,
just quiet. They don't
yeah.
share what exactly are they going through.
So you never know how like they are feeling. They'll
Uh,
just think about it in their mind or tell their friends, but they
mhm.
won't tell you because they're afraid of conflict and confrontation, right?
Yeah, true.
So because of that, I find it hard to imagine how do they cultivate and grow person to person experiences, like to develop the relationship, right? Because if I don't tell you how I feel, you don't tell me how you feel. How in the world do we grow?
True.
Right? I need to complain to you. I need to like, hey, I don't like say, hey, I don't like this. And
Mhm.
then we change for each other or we don't, or we come to a compromise, right? So all of those things are not possible if we don't say anything or we keep it secret, right? Yeah, because if we keep it secret, we just have to live with the things that we don't like rather than instigating a change, right? Because if we're married
Mhm.
and I tell you something I don't like, there's a good chance you're gonna change it. And there's a good chance you mightn't even care. I'll be like, really? You don't like me wearing black? I don't
Mhm.
care about black. I'm gonna wear blue from now on, right?
Yep.
But you will never know unless you actually try.
True.
You need to find out, you know?
And it creates distance in relationships because gradually you'll feel disconnected from this person in a relationship if
Mm.
they don't know what you love. But if you don't share, how would they know?
Yeah, and it's gonna bottle up too. Like all that pressure that you are like holding back, it
Mhm.
could turn into something,
Yeah,
right?
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, especially resentment.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
intercultural marriages, when it comes to, I hate to admit it, but Asian and South Asian, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, South Asian marriages with Japanese couple, like male or female, whatever, it
Hmm.
doesn't survive that long compared to the marriages which are from African plus Japanese. Why is that so? Because Africans don't feel bad if they have to. I mean, I know Indian Pakistan mindset. We tell us. If you don't tell us, we don't know it. And then if you do something wrong, it's your problem. But I know many African friends who, even though it was not their fault, they kept admitting it, kept
Mm,
admitting. So I had a client, he was Congo, he was from Congo, and he says it's difficult, but I have changed myself this way.
mhm.
Just saying whatever you say, following you, because she never shares what she wants to do. So I have to be an obedient follower that's one kind of issue. But now I understand. I see more than 4 or 5 couples, Pakistani guy and Japanese girl, they broke up just because they were too different.
Yes, I mean, I experienced it too. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're not very familiar with being direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was asked, do I like tea? Right? I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, I like this tea. And then 5 minutes later, she brought the tea. I was like, why you brought the tea? She's like, you said you liked it. And I was like, oh, okay. So they into things, right? Or if I ask a question, why is the aircon on? Then she's gonna turn it off. And I'm like, well, no. I was just curious, you know? So
Yeah.
they live in a way that you need to read the other person.
Yeah.
It's very indirect, right?
Mhm.
And when I'm direct with them, it's strange, right?
Mhm.
Or it might be too heavy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I say what I mean. And if I have a complaint, I will tell you. If I don't complain, then please assume it's fine, right?
Mhm.
But they do a lot of like mind games. I think doing that could brew a lot of misunderstandings because you might come to a conclusion where I have no idea you're coming to that conclusion. So I
Mhm.
think it's important that we be fully transparent with each other and we be direct
Mhm.
because we can't read each other's mind. That's impossible.
Mhm.
What we could only control is our behavior, and we can only do that through based on what the other person is telling us. And if
Mhm.
there's something that you're not telling us, then I'm not to blame because you have not told me,
Yeah.
right? I don't know what's going on in your mind, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I
So,
that's a big thing here.
and in order to this relationship, one person has to be extremely understanding. If they are not, then the second person, like, it becomes challenging. So
Yes,
relationship issues
yes,
are
yes.
happening just because of the difference of communication style.
I think the essence for any relationship is born from effort. And once you show effort, a multitude of things come with it, right? Because if I'm married to you and I care about you and I show effort, I'm going
Mm.
to do whatever it takes,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to cut your hair, feed you, be your doctor, be your taxi, do it. So I believe as long as you show effort, you're going to be willing to do everything that it takes to make the relationship work. And I believe if two people are
Mhm.
showing effort, maximum effort, I think there is no stopping that relationship, in my opinion. But, usually when we hear our friends complain about relationships, it's always like somebody giving more effort than each other, and then it doesn't work, right? It's
Mhm.
always one person always have to take and get burned.
Yeah.
So I think the ideal thing is when both people are equally in love with each other, but that's
Mhm.
rare,
Mhm.
right?
Equally in love and equally doing efforts too.
Right, because if I show effort and you show effort, what's stopping us? We're stoppable, right?
Correct.
Because
Correct.
you're going to do everything to make the relationship survive, and I'm also on that page. I'm also doing that. But in most people are Muslim, correct?
Yep. Yep. Majority is
The
Muslim.
majority,
Mhm.
right, right. But I know Japan has like no religion, no.
Not many. There are, but
Oh, they are okay. So you're able to.
yep. Yep.
I see. Okay.
There's a very big and nice mosque in Tokyo,
No,
uh,
we're in Tokyo. I see.
in near Harajuku, I guess, and the name
Ah.
is Tokyo Kami Mosque, and it's Turkish or origin, but it's open for all. And Muslims, I can see many visitors who are not Muslims. They just go there to see and visit. It's beautiful. If you have time,
Mhm.
just go and visit. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
So when you go there, do you meet a lot of people from your country as well? Oh, it must be nice, like speaking in your natural language. Is it feel more comfortable, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I know. Because right now I'm speaking standard English, but in my country we don't use
Uh-huh.
standard English. We speak something very close to Jamaican, right?
Oh.
But I've been speaking standard English for so long,
Uh-huh.
right? I
Uh-huh.
think it's become automatic now, right?
Ah.
So when I speak like to my like family, sometimes I get like too accustomed here, and I'm like speak to them in standard English, right? And
Mhm.
I'm like kind of afraid I'm gonna lose my original dialect. Yeah.
It seemed like when I'm here, I'm talking to everybody in Urdu, like in my my Pakistani
Urdu. Urdu is Pakistan
Urdu,
language. That's what it's
Pakistani.
called, right?
Yep, Urdu.
Urdu.
Um, but I'm from central Punjab, which is one of the prefectures in Pakistan, and we have different language, which is Punjabi, and it's same like in India we have Punjabi, so it's same that. So my family speaks Punjabi, but
Mm-hmm.
in return, I'm talking to them either in English sometimes or in Urdu. And at some point, they get tired. What are you talking? You are mixing so many things and we
Mm-hmm.
don't. So I say, because I don't practice Punjabi here, I only either speak English or Urdu. So that's why sometimes I tend to forget the words in Punjabi. So
Mm-hmm.
it's funny. My mom always says like, what language are you speaking? Ah, that's my language.
When I first found you, right?
Mhm,
I was just going through Facebook, and I happened to see you posted on some group, right?
mhm, mhm.
And in my opinion, I love supporting people, right? And I've
Uh-huh,
always thought that maybe I should become a life coach,
uh-huh.
because every time I support people, I feel happy.
Oh.
Doing things for others, seeing them grow,
Mhm,
recognizing certain patterns in their lives,
mhm,
and trying to simplify it for them.
mhm.
So I realized that's my only talent. I'm very good at supporting others and finding various ways in order to make that happen. I think that I'm the best in the world at that. Honestly,
Mhm,
I believe I might be wrong, but I
mhm.
think I'm very extremely in that aspect. And you could ask like any of my family or exes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if someone's want to become a life coach, like
Mhm,
from scratch, how long would it take to like I'd have to go to school and get this
mhm.
certificate or whatever? How long would you say
So,
it would take?
if you are really lean into studying and you don't take the time, like time out of it, and you just study, I guess 3 months is good enough. You can have a
Okay,
course, a standard course which is
I
accredited
see.
by ICF.
Okay.
Don't go, please go to any random institute.
Oh.
Has been telling this so many times that there are many coaches in the industry who are not certified coaches, and they are selling their thing and people are buying because people are not aware of the standardization of the industry. Either you can go for American, which is ICF.
Mm,
It's standard in everywhere in the whole world. And the other one is it's new, but it's mostly in Europe, but it's gradually getting. It's called European Coaching and Mentoring. So it's EMCC. Now these are the two bodies which accredit you as a coach. So in order to get their accreditation, it's a test you have to pass, but in order to pass that test you have to go through at least 3 months of coaching and training
mm,
certified institute. So if there is an institute which is training coaches but they don't have ICF accreditation,
mm,
so there are many. If you want some referrals, I can also refer you.
okay, okay, yeah. And
But there is
uh,
a compliment for you, because if you think you can do it, I think this is your calling. You must go into that because you're
I see.
already doing it. Why don't you do it professionally?
Okay, yeah. I was just like thinking about it, but I wasn't too sure if
Mhm,
I should or not. But I genuinely like helping out people. It's like when you water a plant or you feed
mhm,
a dog, you don't expect anything in return from it, but you generally enjoy the act of giving. So
mhm.
the act of giving love makes you happy. So
Correct.
yeah, and that epiphany hit me when I was like watering my plant or feeding my dog.
Mhm.
It just came to me. I'm like, why do I feel so happy? But this dog doesn't like do anything for me, right? I
Yeah.
just enjoy like seeing that dog happy, or I enjoy seeing this girl or boy happy, you know. So that's what I thought at that moment when I had that realization. I thought, well, maybe
Mhm.
I should become a life coach because you know I like giving people advice.
Mhm.
But you said, I know you guys said it's not advice, it's more like questions.
It's questions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think I like that because when you give people advice, it becomes confrontational. But when you ask them questions, then they
Mhm.
question themselves, and then you create a dialogue for them to go in a
Mhm.
different direction. So when you said you don't give advice, I really agreed with that, and I could see the
Mhm.
common sense in that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
You
and
are giving
what
advice with your own circumstances, you know.
right?
You went through it or you saw somebody, but it's your perspective. So it's not client's perspective.
Well,
That's
and the mere fact that they are doing your course is because they are already questioning what they believe is correct or not. So they
Mhm.
already like opened that door,
True.
right? So even if you give advice, they are already willing to because they are
Mhm.
speaking to you, right?
Mhm.
But one question from that, I have to end pretty soon. The common
Mhm.
person, are they able to afford life coaching, or is life coaching only for the extravagant, for celebrities, or for the
Mhm.
high status people? I don't know. I never like did it, but I don't know the price. If it's like 100 US, 500 US, I don't know. So how much like does it usually cost?
So it depends how big is the coach, how successful is the coach. Usually, the high ticket clients are very expensive.
Oh, okay.
Normal man and layman, I don't think they can afford it, and that's why
Okay, okay.
coaches like me or some other, we have different packages depending
Mm,
on what kind of the issue the client is coming in with. So we have smaller packages and we have executive packages. Of course, for those who want a clear cut specific goal in their life with
mm-hmm.
professional career, and packages like 3 months packages. That's why we offer 3 months packages, 6 months packages, instead of just saying, okay, come in for 1 year and then you, because you know, if you don't come regular at least for 3 months, you will not be able to see the results. And how can you tell? It's not a medicine that you take it, okay,
Yeah, 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 like a miracle. Yeah. It takes time. Yeah.
there should be a timeline. If there's not, people who come for 1 or 2 sessions, I don't accept them because
Yeah, because they can't expect change. Like, so it's like going
yeah,
to the gym. I woke up, no muscles, no, it doesn't work like that.
yeah, true. And you know what? Then it becomes the bad image of us. Oh, I went to that coach, but it didn't help because you went only for 2 times.
Right, right.
So
Doesn't make
packages
sense.
are must. But again, we have bigger packages, smaller packages. But again, I would want to say that if you want to treat something, some ill or something, or you want to go to gym in a better body shape, you always
Mm,
spend on yourself or on that experience.
yeah.
Coaching is for you. It's not for me or somebody else. So if you can spend much on others in other facilities, why don't you spend on yourself as well?
Yeah,
So
makes sense. Yeah. People
mhm.
send their car to the mechanic more than they go to the doctor. Right?
So
It's
true.
kind of strange. Okay, yeah. Oh
Mhm.
well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.